All right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time zone you're dialing into. Welcome to Team Elite TV episode 27 on the 27th. How you like that? That's what I'm talking about. Way to go, everybody. So I want to welcome you guys to this episode, and I want to introduce you to my incredible, smart, talented, rank climbing, and lovely co-host today. If I'm Charlie, these are the Angels. Let's start in Barbados with Pearl Executive Jamie Lee St. John. Say hi to everybody, Jamie.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 27. It's going to be very informative. I hope you have your teams on and you're ready to rock. Welcome again.
Awesome. Let's keep it Caribbean. Let's go to the yard. Pearl Executive Kimberly Davis. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Again, amazing to be on, to be sharing with you guys, and I'm so looking forward to this episode because we're going to be talking about getting the work done. So let's have a great training.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. And let's go ahead and go to the Texas Valley. And we've got our Pearl Executive, the lovely, the one and only, Doris Lopez. Say hi to everybody, Doris. Doris.
Hey, I'm here.
There you go. Yeah, we can hear you now. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, welcome to Team Elite episode 27. Man, I'm ready. This week was crazy powerful. I'm ready. Get ready, guys.
Awesome. We're going to have a great episode, Doris. Hey, what we're going to do is we're going to keep it Pearl, and we're going to go all the way out to the lovely island of Guam, which is actually part of the U.S. of A. We're so glad to have Pearl Executive Rosette Pesetas on the line, also known as Beyonce. Say hi to everybody, Rosette.
Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. We're so excited to be here. It's always an honor to be part of your Sunday evening, Monday morning routine. So welcome to episode 27 of Team Elite TV.
Now, Rosette, you're looking fab, but I do not see the hair blowing today. You promised me the fan last week, and you did not come through.
I will.
Wow. Well, speaking of hair, we've got ourselves a major league style change going on here. Looking fab. We love it, Marsha. Sapphire Executive, Marsha Terry. Sapphire looks good on you, Marsha. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everyone. I know my hair is different this week. It's just hair, but I love it. Anyway, welcome to Team Elite TV episode 27. I thought I'd give Rosette a little competition this week.
You know what? Exactly, man. I tell you what, if we could get Kim to change her style too, we'd have Destiny's Child.
Also working after T.Gray.
The whole group going. We'd have the whole group. You know, y'all could be doing independent. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so welcome everybody to episode 27. We have a great episode lined up for you guys. And first of all, I just want to share with you that this is the place to be. This is what you want to do every single Sunday. We are committed to your business. And, I'll put it to you this way. If you go back through the episodes, you'll pretty much see that this entire crew of leaders has been on for 27 episodes in a row, right? Doris wasn't on with us in the beginning because she wasn't in the company. But as soon as Doris hit Jade, she's been on here every week since then. You know what I mean? And so that's a clue. The leaders who have businesses that are continuing to grow, that continue to have energy, life, and momentum and profitability in them, this is something that they do every single week. And so I just want to encourage each and every one of you guys, make sure that you plan yourself around this. I've got an insanely busy life. I've got a family. We do stuff just like everybody else does. My kid's he's got like 2 lives of his own practically. And yet, here we are every week, right? And so I just want to encourage you guys, don't let little things get in the way. If you're serious about this, if you really want to make the money that's possible to be made in your Jeunesse business, you're going to have to make some commitments, and you need the education, you need the learning, and we're committed to giving that to you every single week. All right, so we've got a powerful topic for you this week. Let's go ahead and jump in and get the housekeeping done. Okay, so again, we're talking about episode 27. You got to work it to win it. You got to work it to win it, right? And so we'll talk about what that is. But first, let's just do a little bit of recognition. We have some new pearls in the family. I want to take just a moment to give proper recognition, shout out, congratulations to Suzanne and Raulito Peña in the Texas Valley. Way to go.
Awesome. Woohoo!
Go.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, Marsha, that's on your team. Who's their sponsor?
I am.
Marsha.
Get out of here.
I am.
Man, I tell you what, you guys, you and Dr. Onawateri, DPT, physical therapy doctor, are like stamping out jades and pearls in the valley. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Got this.
So a big leadership congratulations to you, Marsha. We appreciate you and your husband and the work that you guys are doing there. Tremendous, tremendous leaders.
Thank you.
Let's swing it out, Caribbean, to my homie. Looking great. By the way, Kim, I saw all the pictures from this photo shoot. They look amazing. This is one of the best ones, definitely. Congratulations to you for achieving Pearl Executive.
Awesome, Kim. Woo! Got this, girl. Proud of you.
Hey, Kim, who's your sponsor? Who's your sponsor?
Oh boy.
Karen.
Go ahead and say it.
Oh boy.
Karen's great sponsor.
Ah! How do we know?
Shameless once again.
Hey, I believe me, that is not the last shameless plug that I'll be doing today. You guys know one's coming up, right?
Yeah, we know. We
You
know.
know. Say it. Word for word already.
Get ready, get your mind right. You know, you guys know what to do when we get to that part, you know. So this is how it goes. This is just the life and style. Hey, it's a personality trait, right? I mean, what can I do? I can't help myself. All right, let's talk about $1 Million Morning. Man, I tell you, this thing, you guys realize this? We had pretty much 100 people join the $1 Million Morning community in the last 24, maybe 36 hours.
It's amazing.
You know, at one point in time, we were like fourth and goal to hit 400, right? And already now we're closing in on 500 people for the $1 Million Morning community.
Go T.Gray.
Awesome.
What, you know, but it's not about me, right? Because I do this I do anonymously. This is not about me, you know, and that's what I really love about it. You know, you take people like Marsha and Kimberly and Sean Wallace, Professor Wallace out of Jamaica, and even some other folks who are not in our Jeunesse business who've gotten excited about this and who've embraced it. And that's really what it's about. It's not a Jeunesse thing. It's not about any particular company or opportunity. It's just about, you know, you want to take your life to that next level, you know, and you got to have a strong morning routine. And it doesn't mean that you got to get up, you know, before the crack of dawn, even though one of the common qualities of successful people is they get going before everybody else does, right? But it's the discipline, it's the routine, and we'll talk about this a little bit in our training, but things have already started to happen for the people who've embraced this and are taking it seriously, right? So you're going to hear from Kim, you're going to hear from Marsha about their stories today, and both of their stories have $1 Million Morning in common. So if you're watching this and you have not become part of the $1 Million Morning community, let me tell you what to do. Go to if you're on Facebook, search for $1 Million Morning, and when you get there, click like, and then click that little down arrow and choose Get Notifications, so that as things happen in the $1 Million Morning group, you get notified. I want to encourage you, don't be a consumer, be a contributor. The page is set up that anybody who wants to can post on it, can post pictures. The only thing that I ask is that you do two things. Number one, don't promote your opportunity or any opportunity. And number two, keep it positive. Now, let me explain keep it positive. Keep it positive doesn't mean that you can't keep it real. Right? You know, so for example, every one of us has posted at one time or another, couldn't get my butt out of the bed. It was hard today. It was a struggle. I missed a few days, whatever. You could, you know, that's keeping it real, and it's positive, it's relevant, you know, but don't get on there just totally griping. Now, if you want to get on there, you're having some struggles and you're asking the group to come and rally behind you and help you, that's a whole nother thing, okay? But definitely do that. Go to www.themilliondollarmorning.com and you can learn some more details about what it's all about, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of cool stuff too. But I just encourage you, get into this, get involved, and be vocal. Be vocal on here. We want to hear your positive voice. And you know, I met some people on the plane this week that I'm, you know, getting them involved in this. They're not even in our business. They're not in anybody's business, but they're just real positive people. And I'm like, hey, we want to hear your voices. Okay? You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$1 Million Morning, hashtag $1 Million Morning, hashtag MDM28. Take the 28-day challenge. All right, events. We are an event-driven organization. We are a team that recognizes the value and gets excited about events. We know that people make their big decisions at events. We know that the most successful people in the Jeunesse business, in Team Elite, and in the entire network marketing industry build their business from event to event, and you're not going to win if you don't go to events. So we want to make sure we keep you posted on what's coming up. Now, how many of you knew this was in your back office?
Yes, I did.
This is there. And a couple of events, I was kind of bummed out today because, like, I realized there was an event in New Jersey, and it's happening today. And I'm like, oh, man, we got a few people in New York and New Jersey who could have gone to this event, you know, and I didn't post it. I was kicking myself a little bit for not promoting it. But then I realized, whose responsibility is it?
Mine.
Yep.
Yours.
Right, it's each
Ours.
one of us as a business owner. It's our responsibility to be looking at this and knowing what's going on, you know, staying tuned, right? If there's an event, if Jeunesse does an event in Houston and I don't know about it, I can't blame anybody. It's not Lucy's responsibility to make sure that I know. It's not Adam's responsibility or Samantha's responsibility to make sure that I know. It's my responsibility to be in the know, right? Especially when this information is readily available. It's nice when they can give me a heads up. I do appreciate that, but it's my responsibility at the end of the day. So I wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to see that we have meetings coming up in Indianapolis, in Vegas, in Chile, Brazil, Dallas, San Juan, Puerto Rico, El Paso, Toronto, and by the way, we added another event to the schedule. Marsha, what's the date?
October the 11th.
October 11, McAllen, Texas. Yeah, baby, that's going to be hot. That's going to be strong. I'm just so excited about what you guys are about to do down there. Yeah. Japan, Tokyo. There's an event. Mexico, you guys see Mexico?
Yeah.
Paris. British Columbia. Calgary. Israel. Orlando. Discover Jeunesse. Israel again. Orlando. Okay, so that's on there twice. Look at that. How about this one? Nigeria. October 31. Ife, T.Gray, where you guys at? Jamoke, Jeunesse University, Nigeria, South Africa, and then we all get together in Orlando for the Jeunesse Convention of the Americas. How do you find this? You go to your Jeunesse site, whatever you chose, .JeunесseGlobal.com, click Culture, click Calendar, and then scroll down to the section of that page that says Current Corporate Events. Sounds good to everybody?
Yes.
All right. And then also, I want to say this to my leadership friends, my co-hosts and hostesses, with the mostesses, that I hereby empower you to create events for any one of these events in our Jeunesse Team Elite group, okay? So you guys are able to do that. If you're not able to do that for some reason, let me know, but I believe it's set up where anybody can go in there and create an event, and you can copy and paste the details and any pictures that these guys have to go ahead and create the event in our Team Elite page. Feel free to beat me to it, okay? So now consider yourselves deputized. Hereby deputized. All right, we did a whole episode about the Orlando convention last week. If you did not watch it, please go watch it. We gave you about 2,000 million reasons why you need to be there with us, because this event is going to really, it's really going to determine what kind of results you get first quarter 2016. I can tell you right now, people who are in the business who don't go to this event are very likely going to have a lackluster, disappointing January, February, March 2016. That does not apply to the people who join the business after this event. The same karma doesn't apply to them. But you got to just realize it says something about you if you are already in and you could go and you don't go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to really kind of impact your ability to be successful. So this event is really going to do major things for your business. Again, go back and watch episode 26 to hear the list of reasons. I will share the, I won't say it's the most important reason, but it's like right there is a real close second to the future well-being of your family, is that on the 15th, that's right, after the event is all over, there's the evening of the 15th, Sunday the 15th, we are going to have a very special birthday celebration.
Wait for it.
An amazing individual who, you know, we all know and love, and it's just going to be, it'd be so special to me.
Ta-ta-ta!
If you could all be there. First time ever. Have everybody together for my birthday.
You're a joke. You're crazy.
Amongst yourselves. All right. It's going to be off the chain. We're going to have a good time. All right. Good stuff. All right. So there you go.
Yeah. Everyone.
What was that, Rosette?
Be prepared. You're treating everyone.
That's right, Rosette.
You know what? We need to. Now you just messed it up. Right?
I thought it was
like, you know, they used to do the Grammys live, right? They used to do like the Grammys live until people started cursing in their acceptance speech. And then they have to do it on a time delay, so they give themselves a chance to edit out the cursing. Rosette just messed us up. We can't do Team Elite TV live anymore because I have to edit out crazy stuff like what she just said. So, Rosette, I will treat you kindly. Can't take it. All right. Let's get down to business before Rosette says anything else crazy. Oh my God. You done, Rosette? Please be done. All right. Shoot for Sapphire is on in Africa. Come on, you guys. Rock and roll. See how many new Sapphires we can create. Team Elite Nigeria. And now it's time to get down to business. Grab your pen and paper. We're about to have a very serious, candid, frank, upfront, open, and truthful conversation about what it takes to win. Team Elite episode number 27. You got to work it. Not twerk it, but work it to win.
Work
it. All right. So let's talk about this topic, because I called up Marcia and I said, Marcia, I think this is what we need to talk about today. And I said, you feel free to disagree with me and tell me it needs to be something else, but I just feel like it's time for this conversation, because you know, it's really the number one reason that people fail. They just don't do the work. You know, and one of the sad things about human nature in people who are underdeveloped as a professional is that nobody wants to take responsibility for their own actions. Nobody wants to say, it was me, I screwed up, it was my fault, right? Like, my wife was telling me about, she was driving yesterday, and this guy was drag racing down the street and almost rear-ended her, right? Like, to the point where she saw it coming and she's just trying to brace herself. And at the last minute, he was able to swerve and get around. And, she was upset with him, and she honked her horn, and he gave her the finger, right? And it's like, you know what? It's like, dude, you were wrong. It's like, so it's just kind of, it betrays the way people are today. People, don't want to take responsibility for their own actions. And what I've learned about success is that you've got to take complete 100% responsibility. And so there's only one way to win, and that way to win is you've got to put in the work. That's really, there's no bones about it. So when a person joins this business, when I'm talking to them, I'm always up front. I let them know this is not going to be easy. I let them know this is probably going to be one of the most difficult things you've ever done. I tell them, and you guys have all heard the same thing, right? I mean, Rosette, you're a pro. You've been in the industry for years and years and years. You've created really strong groups and hundreds of thousands of dollars of volume. And I still said the same thing to Rosette. I said, you're going to have your highest highs and your lowest lows. This isn't going to always be fun. You're not going to always like me. All that kind of stuff. We had that conversation, even though she's heard it all before, because I just never want to be guilty of not saying it. Because at the end of the day, you got to put in the work. You got to do the recruiting. You got to do the marketing. You've got to you got to do the presentations. You've got to do the J parties. You got to help your new people. You got to go to events. You got to get on Team Elite TV, all that kind of stuff, right? So what I wanted to do today is I do not have any fancy slides. Instead, what I have are people who are at various levels of their ultimate success. And the reason that they are having success is that they are doing the work. And I just really want to get you guys' perspective on doing the work. So what I want to do is I want to start with the baby of this bunch, but she is by no means a baby because she comes from her previous company, 13 years, and she's created lots of success, and she is absolutely just building a rock star team. So Doris, I want to give you the floor first. And I want you to talk about the kind of, this whole concept of the work, just whatever it is you want to talk about. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, in doing the work, you have to, and I know I say this quite a bit, but you have to stay connected with your sponsor, with your mentors, with your leaders. And then you have to find that group of people in your team that you're building that if you call and you say, hey, I want to do this tomorrow, or can you meet me here right now? You have to find those people that are willing to stop what they're doing. And the reason why they're willing to stop what they're doing is because their why is so well defined that they're walking this walk right now. And that is so important in building a strong team. And coming from, being in other companies and being in other teams, that is the most important part of growing your business, is staying connected, keeping the vision right in front of you. I have an amazing team that God is really, really blessing me with, and I have to share, yesterday I had a gentleman come from Mexico, and he's a really huge guy. He owns he's the owner of the largest professional arena football league in Mexico, and he's got 41 teams. And I shared the opportunity with him, good friend of mine, and we're doing some things internationally. But we talked. I showed him the Instantly Ageless because, number one, you have got to be a product of your product. And number two, you have got to be ready. I don't care if you're in the grocery store. I don't care if you're on your way to the bathroom at the mall, because I talk to people on my way to the bathroom at the mall, and I get their numbers, and I put that instantly ageless on them in the bathroom at infusions. You guys know, you've seen me in action. Wherever I go, I am ready. And you have to be ready, because when people watch you be ready, they're gonna be ready. The people that really want to succeed, the people that really see a vision. Because remember, we know this. This is a numbers game. Not everybody's going to jump on board like we want them to. But there are some people that are going to watch your excitement. They don't even care about what's in the what the ingredients are. They see your excitement. And this is what he shared with me. I was about to drop them off at the border. And I said, you know what, hon? We were going to have our famous J parties, because we have them every day. Right? So I stopped at Fati's Spa Corpo Sano, and I said, I've got 5 minutes. Literally, we could only talk to them for a few minutes because I had to get him by the border. He had a plane to catch. And I said, listen, you've got to come on board. This is the team that you would be under. We walked in, said hi. He saw what was going on, talked to Fati for about no more than 10 minutes. Both Fatis. Celia happened to be there. Toyino Ojaga, who's getting ready to leave to Nigeria, who was my new recruit from Nigeria. And so he was shocked. He was shocked to see who they were and where they came from and how passionate they were about doing this business. He left ready with a box of the Instantly Ageless, because he said to me, man, had you not been ready, I would just be going by the videos. And there's a difference whenever you are ready. So you have to be ready. In doing the work, you have to be ready. You don't have a bad day. Sorry, bad days, ain't nobody got time for that, for real. Because if we're really going for that diamond directorship that we want, because that's what we want to enter that pool. That's what our team wants, to the point where they've built, you know, Fatih has built a room specifically for training her teams. And you have to stay ready. That's the best thing I can tell you, is stay ready, because when you stay ready, your team will stay ready.
All right, so Doris, let me jump in here, because this is good. Believe it or not, right, and I knew this was going to happen. Believe it or not, you just gave us 5 good points, and I want to make sure that everybody got them, okay? So let's go through this, because Doris just gave you, you know, some of her perspective of what doing the work entails. The first thing that she said was part of doing the work is being a product of the product. Okay? So using the products yourself is part of doing the work. And believe it or not, so many people fail right there. They don't take the products seriously. They don't use the products, right? Or they allow the products, they look at the products as an expense as opposed to, you know, part of your business. I look at it as my business pays me to use these products. You know, that's what my business does. I get paid to use these products as if I am a professional, you know, a celebrity endorser of these products. Okay, so you got to be a product of the product. Secondly, you said you have to be ready, stay ready at all times. I love that, Doris. Thank you so much. You go, girl. Right? And here's the thing that I'm not sure you guys realize. Doris said people, if you listen to her story, people actually respond to your readiness, right? People they observe that about you. So when you have a sample ready, when you have product on hand, that is impressive to people. And it gives you the edge that people want to join you and do business with you, like this gentleman. You have to be ready at all times. I love this. Another thing she said, talk to everybody. This is part of doing the work. You got to talk to, closed mouths don't get fed. Try putting food in here. And you got to open it to get the food in. Well, you got to open your mouth in order to be successful. Talk to everybody, right? And here's another thing. Don't stop recruiting. Doris, I love that you are still recruiting. Doris didn't say, I'm Pearl, I'm done, oh, I've arrived. No, she's still recruiting people. Did you hear that? She just recruited the lady from Nigeria, and she's recruiting this guy from Mexico. And the last thing she said is you don't have time for bad days. You go to work when you're having a bad day. If you have a job, you still go. They expect you to perform. Yeah, you're having a bad day, but they're still paying you. So you need to have a productive day. And if it's your business, you still have to perform. Well, guess what? This is your business. You got to perform every single day. So way to go, Doris. That's definitely a formula for success. Now, here's what we're going to do.
I get paid to look good.
You get paid to do what?
I get paid to look good.
Yes, you do. And hey Doris, whoever's paying you to look good, they're not paying you enough. They're getting extra.
I know this, baby. That's why I gotta be a diamond.
That's what I'm talking about. Go, Doris. All right, let's kick it down to Barbados. We're gonna go to the good doctor, Dr. Jamie Lee St. John. Jamie, we've been running together for a while. You are definitely an example of doing the work. Why don't you talk a little bit and give us your perspective?
Well, for me, doing the work is staying focused on the job at hand. As Doris sort of touched on, and I'm totally with a lot of the things that she said as well. You know, sometimes we have days where we may not feel like it, and all this and all that, and you have to not let the excuses get in the way. In terms of the excuses, when it comes to your emotions, you know, if you're having a bad morning, you know, pull it together by lunchtime, pull it together by evening, and make it up. I mean, it happens to all of us. As we say, life happens, and that really is key, because it's a very emotional business. Sometimes things can happen that can, you know, throw your groove off, but the people who win are the people who get back up and run. You know, don't stay on the ground. And personal recruiting, you have to constantly keep doing it. You have to balance helping your team grow and continuing to grow yourself. And as I mentioned to T.Gray before we had started, we just finished doing a one-on-one with a guy that we spoke to about a week ago. We got to actually meet with him again and go over, you know, what it is we do, how we do it. And, you know, he's getting started with the Zen products. We sampled him Reserve on the spot. He loves it, and he's bringing people to our next J party. He already said that, you know. And I've converted a couple of my retail customers into wholesale consumers now, and I'm going to be looking to push them on to building the business, because you know what, they love the products, they're getting the results. And for me, it's very important that we build a business with people who are getting results on the products, because it's going to lead to high retention. And that's about it really for me. It's just really about keep getting up even when things seem rough. That really, to me, is what will make you win.
Love it, Jamie. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let's make sure everybody got that for their notes, okay? And by the way, panel, if I miss something, definitely jump in and fill it in. But I got 4 things from you, Jamie. I got, number 1, stay focused. And 2 simple words, but really 2 big words. Because life is so full of distraction. I mean, just so full. Like, even right now, as we speak, as Jamie was speaking, somebody's trying to recruit me to another company. And I'm like, seriously? And they keep trying. They sent me an invitation to their meeting a few weeks ago. Then they sent me a video of their meeting. And then I get this one, hey, T.Gray, are you still in MLM? I want to get your opinion about a company. Like, they forgot that they've been trying to recruit me over the past couple of weeks. And I messaged them back. I'm like, aren't you in company XYZ? Oh, yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about. I said, good company, good products, good people. We don't need to talk. That's it. I'm like, no. Right? But you got to stay focused, because what's going to happen is there's always going to be something else that's pretty, that's shiny. They got a good comp plan. They got good products. This person's going to be in it. That person's going to be in it. They're going to be having some success. They're going to put up pictures on their Facebook, and their meetings are going to be packed. People are going to lose 100 pounds and disappear and be invisible. I mean, whatever. And if you're the person who's going to constantly be distracted by that and changing companies because of stuff like that, you're never going to succeed.
Exactly.
So let me just go ahead and break it down to you right now. You guys ready for this? There is more than one good company in our industry. That's it. Yep. I mean, yeah, we're passionate about our company. We believe our company is the best, and somebody else believes their company is the best. But the reality is there are several good companies in our industry, and you can't build them all at the same time. You're gonna have to pick one, and then stay focused, right? I mean, like those of you who are married, guess what? There's other handsome dudes and other handsome girls out, good-looking girls out there. You can't be married to them all. You know, you have to pick one and roll. So same thing. It's like you go to a restaurant and you look at the menu. There's more than one good dish on the menu, typically. You can't eat them all. You're going to have to pick one and eat that. So like Jamie said, stay focused, right? And life is going to throw other things at you. It's going to throw you stuff with your kids, stuff with your family, stuff with your health, stuff with your job, right? Guess what one of the biggest distractions is right now that keeps people from being focused? Social media, scrolling, Facebook, Instagram. You can do that for hours, and then before you know it, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. All right? So you got to stay focused. Thank you, Jamie, for that. And then here's the other thing. Stuff's going to happen. Everything's not going to go your way. You are going to get knocked down. You are going to get kicked in the teeth. But a wise man once said, it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you keep getting up and keep moving forward. Thank you, Rocky. Right? Rocky said that. You know, how many times are you going to get up? Yo, Adrian, how many times are you going to get up, people? Guess what? It's not over until you stop getting up. Oh my, look at that. Profound. Deep.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So you got to keep getting up. Thank you, Jamie. Personal recruiting. Now, Jamie actually added something to this personal recruiting topic, which I really liked. You said you've got to find a balance between your personal recruiting and helping your people grow. Because one of the biggest excuses that people give for stopping personal recruiting is, I got to help my people grow. And typically when people say that, it's BS. If you turn on the subtitles, what they really mean is, I'm afraid to talk to people, so I am now going to hide behind helping my people. Those of you who want to be real leaders, you need to always stay in personal recruiting mode, all of us, and at the same time be helping your people. So you find a balance. You know, so for example, in my first, what was it, guys? In my first 60 days, maybe almost 90 days, I personally enrolled like almost 60 people. Well, I'm not enrolling people at that rate anymore because I have to have a balance between now helping my people. So now I'm not enrolling 60 people every 90 days anymore. Right? But I'm still enrolling people. That's what you got to do the same thing. Okay, so I like that, Jamie. Thank you. And she said, help people get results from the product. Man, that's big. That's part of the work. Man, Jamie, Jamie, you don't even realize how big that is. Guys, if you're making a list of the work that you got to do in order to win, put on that list, help people get results from the product. You can't just get a customer and expect them to just get it right on their own. You can't just bring people in the business and expect them to get it right on their own. You've got to help them get results. You got to guide them. You got to follow through. For example, you know, if somebody gets started and they get the ambassador pack and now they've got all the products, wouldn't it be great if you took the time to say, hey, like this is what I do. Doris, I don't know if you do the same thing, but I tell people, I remember doing this with Jamie. I said, when your products come, don't take them out the box. Call me first. Now, I'm in the business like 30 seconds before Jamie got it. Like, what do I really know, right? But I know that my job as a sponsor is to say, hey, you know what? Let me just try, right? And so, she pulls out her stuff. I'm like, okay, you're supposed to use this one this time and this one that time. And I probably gave her all sorts of bad information. But I tried. Bottom line is you gotta take responsibility. For
excitement got her.
My excitement got her, yeah, and and also the fact that she's much smarter than I am, right? And she knows how to use YouTube and stuff. But the bottom line is, we have to help people. We can't just say, hey, here's a bunch of stuff, go figure it out. So thank you, Jamie. Good stuff. Appreciate you. You're a rock star. Let's go to Jamaica. Let's talk to that Pearl executive known as Kimberly Davis.
You guys, and I'm making all kind of notes. But for me, I definitely have to take it from the part of, developing myself personally. Because I find, and T.Gray mentioned it earlier, that when I just started to recruit and when I just started in the business, truth be told, I wasn't thinking about managing expectations. I saw the big picture, I saw the excitement, I saw the amazing product stories, and I just ran with that. And so everybody that we spoke with, yes, the products are amazing, yes, the company is an amazing company, and yes, they pay you very well, but the hard work that it's gonna take to get the money and get where we want to go. So I wasn't focused on that, and so I got to a place where I just felt like I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't moving, and I thank God for T.Gray and this $1 Million Morning Challenge, because after doing that and in the process of doing that, I recognized that in developing me as a person, then that impacted my business. And so what I realized is most people decide to join the business, and we ask them a question: how much do you want to be earning in this business for it to make sense for you? And some persons might say $5,000, but the truth is the most that they have earned up to that point maybe was just $500 a month. And it's really, really, really difficult for you to be earning at 5,000, thinking at 5,000, 500, earning, thinking at 500, and just want to jump to a $5,000 income without any kind of personal development. It doesn't work that way, and I found that out the hard way. You have to be able to be at the level even before you get there, in terms of your thinking, in terms of your operation, before you can get that kind of success. Because truth is, all that you have done up to that point have earned you what you are currently earning. So for you to get to executive, for you to get to Jade, for you to get to Pearl, or even Fasaya, you have to become that person, and you have to start acting like that person, which means that you definitely have to do some personal development. And that is what $1 Million Morning did for me. It took me from where I was 2-3 months ago, and it has brought me to a level now where I am becoming a better person. And in becoming a better person, I find that I am attracting people to my business. So, yes, it has helped me. I'm attracting people to my business. People are finding me on Facebook. People are texting me. People are calling me. I go on the road and I meet all kind of people from different backgrounds. And what I just start building relationships. I just want to know about you. I want to know what's going on in your life before I even mention anything about Jeanette, right? So I'm kind of learning from the pro T.Gray. I took your training, and it's really working very well for me. So we have to lead by example. And as you join Jeanette, you become a leader. You enroll your first person, you are a leader. So your business and your success really and truly depends on you. I'm still on that journey of personal development and self-discovery, and there's a lot more to come. But what I would say to you is, as a person, assess where you have been, assess where you are now, and where you want to go. And if where you are now and where you want to go, there definitely will be a gap. So it means that you have to become a totally different person in order to achieve the next goal, the next rank, the next income level that you want to be at. One of my goals, I mean, as I started September, one of the goals I wrote down was that I am going to enroll at least 4 persons per month minimum. And when I check my back office, September is almost done, and I've already gone by 4. Yay!
Yay!
Right? It's true point. You really have to do a lot of work. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, I feel stuck. And T.Gray's only response was, yes, stuck is not fun. Like, no, T.Gray, that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted encouragement. I wanted motivation. But all he said was, stuck is not fun. And I'm like, this is not what I want to hear. But what that did for me was sent me back to the books I was reading, sent me back to more personal development, sent me back to discovering what is really possible for me and what I'm able to do on my own. So that next time, I mean, I'm now talking to, thumbs up to Sean Wallace. He has been.
Oh, we lost her.
Oh man, it was good on a roll. Right. So let me jump in here anyway. We gotta save some time for Marshall and Rosette. So this is good. This is, oh my God, that was good. That was really good though. All right. So here's what I got. Kim really had one big point, and I know we're going to hear some more about this a little bit later. Kim really had one big point, and that one big point was you got to work on yourself to drive your business. You got to work on yourself to drive it. I love what she said. You can't be thinking at $500 a week trying to make $5,000 a week or a month or whatever. And so $1 Million Morning was a vehicle that really helped Kim, not so much because $1 Million Morning gave her the information. $1 Million Morning created the time space that she could fill with the information. A lot of times people are saying, I want to grow, I want to get better, whatever, but they can't seem like they can't seem to find the time. Well, Kim, I remember when Kim started with $1 Million Morning, she found that by getting up a little bit earlier, she could create an extra 1.5 hours to 2 hours every day. And so she's reading books and she's getting the stuff. And what happened is, like she said, she started becoming. And so she introduced this concept, become to attract. Become to attract. So she became so she could attract. And what happened? It started working. You know, now Kim is recruiting 4 people a month. Why? Not because, you know, of magic or anything like that, but because she grew and she's more attractive. And one of the things that she found is that people are now seeking her out. And that's one of the things. It's like we keep sharing that. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract. And Kim is doing that. She said, I love what she said. She said, you have to grow to close the gap. Write that in your notes, everybody. There's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. And one of the ways to close the gap is to grow. You got to think about it like if you've ever been to the amusement park as a kid and you wanted to ride the roller coaster. And you get there and they have the chicken. And the chicken looks like this. Right? And what is the chicken doing? He's saying you got to be this tall to ride the ride. Right? Now, if you are this tall, there's only one thing you can do to close the gap so you can ride the ride. What is that? You got to grow. You got to grow so you can close the gap. And see, so this is the success chicken. And the success chicken is saying, if you want to ride the ride of success, you got to be this tall. And there's only one way for you to get this tall. You got to grow. You got to grow. So, Kimmy, thank you for that. And then the last thing that she said, which I thought was really cool, is that sometimes your mentors are just going to say some dumb stuff like stuck is not fun, huh? Right? And so you can't be the person who expects your mentors to solve all the problems for you. Sometimes our response is just going to be like, yeah, and? Right? So you're like, Kim was hitting me up. She's like, I feel stuck. I'm like, yeah, stuck ain't fun. What you gonna do about it, right? And I love the way Kim responded to that. Kim, you're a champion. I love you. I'm proud of you, and great stuff there. All right, let's keep it tropical. Let's go out to Guam and let's see what Beyonce has got to say for us today. Rosette Pacetas, Pearl Executive, what you got?
Well, one of the most important to do, I really plan my day, my week, my month, and I think it's important that we really do it because we want to really inspect what we expect, so to speak. A lot of times people expected something that they're not really planning for it. So in order for us to really win in the game, you really have to map it out. And I'm sometimes I'm guilty of it. I thought I had it all down pat, not knowing that I really have to write it down because there are appointments that, I want to make sure I don't miss. And by planning and putting it, we all have cell phones, and there's a calendar in our cell phones. I bet you that if you put your appointments, even the appointments you have to make for yourself, you're not going to miss it. It's a critical, integral part of building a business to really plan it. And I've heard it from mentors that you have to inspect what you expect. And that's very, very crucial. And I share it with new people, old people. This is a monkey see, monkey do business. You can't be telling people to do something you don't do.
Yeah.
So you can't hold your J parties and then you don't even hold one. So I can't stress it enough when people expect to do something that they don't even do. When I ask someone to write a list of 50 names, I've written out 100 names. I do only half, or I ask people to do half of what I do. And some people expect people would know what to do without knowing what to do. So it's very crucial that we stay plugged in because we have the best team ever in the universe. And we have some amazing leaders that are not just professional in this business, but committed. And I think that puts us in a position that everyone that wants to be part of our team wins if they stay plugged in. Because I was just showing one of the people that I recently connected with, and this is one of the pointers that I have. Do not get tired reaching out to your team members. Don't. And, it's not because they did not show up after they signed up. They're done. They don't know what to do. And I had an experience not too long ago where one of the first ones that we brought in enrolled, and I kept dripping on her. I kept reaching out to her. And one day we sat down. We sat down last week, and she held her J party on Thursday night, Wednesday night, and then the following Saturday we had a J party for her new enrollee. I mean, these are the things that it's just like a ripple effect. It just trickles down the line. If you don't get tired reaching out to your team members, they will respond to you. And I can't stress enough how never give up on anyone. I never do. There are times that people are not ready for it, and then the time comes, by the time that you say hello to them, ignored a lot of times. Don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody in my team gets a text from me, and I don't mind if they get tired of it. I figured if they get tired of it, they'll finally respond to me.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
It's, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure a lot of leaders can relate to that. Yes. Never give up, because you never know when that seed you're going to drop on the ground is going to really, blossom. So that's one of the things that I do, and never, ever, ever get tired in the basics. The basic is our J party, the sending the videos. We have an amazing tools that our company has put together for us. Our top leaders have actually, put it all in place for us. So stick with the basic. Use the tools that we have. Don't do the talking. Let the videos do the talking for you. And that's all I do. That's all I do, because it's not easy to be on my own here. It's like I'm 13,000 miles away from you guys. I create my own events in order for people to feel belong. And you just have to reciprocate. People cannot just do it alone. This is a team effort. And I can stress enough how we all have to win it. We all have to do it.
Because I got to make sure that is one of the key points that you put out there. So, Rosette, you are a beast, baby. Okay, here we go. Let's dig in. Everybody, sharpen your pencils. Here is what you just learned from Rosette. I want to make sure you don't miss any of it. You ready? Here we go. Number 1, plan. She said you got to plan. This is one of the age-old rules of success. You have to plan. Write this in your notes. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. She said you got to map it out, and then you inspect what you expect. So you don't just put together a plan and go do. You got to stop and review. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did, right? So that's what you got to do, okay? Now, check this out. I love this. Rosette, I've fallen in love with you 1,000 times, but this is where I fell in love with you again. Rosette takes responsibility. That's why she's such an amazing leader. Do you hear what she said? I don't know if anybody else caught this. It wasn't even one of her points, but it was one of the places where she leads by example. She was talking about planning, and she said, this is one of my growth areas. She goes, I thought I had it all together here, but I didn't. I love that about you, because that's what leaders do. That's how we talk. We don't look for blame it on this one, blame it on that one, your fault, you didn't help me, you whatever. She's like, you know what? I didn't have it all together, so I fixed it. I went and I became better at that, right? Because, see, the reason why that's powerful is because we want to be, when we give away responsibility for the circumstance, we also give away responsibility for the outcome. And I know Rosette, 13,000 miles away, doesn't want to wait for me to create her business, and so she takes responsibility for her own outcomes. I love that. She said, lead by example, monkey see, monkey do. So, I mean, this is a personality trait of average and failure type people all over the world. They want people to do things they're not willing to do themselves. And if you go back through Team Elite on Facebook, Jeunesse Team Elite, you're going to see J party after J party, demo after demo by all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. Because we lead by example. That's why we're on top, and that's how you get on top, okay? She said you got to value the team and stay plugged in. We talked about that. If you don't get that, go back to episode 25. Keep reaching out to your team. Don't give up on anybody. I love that, Rosette. Do you know how many times people have said to me, thank you for not giving up on me? Or people will come back from the dead. What I mean is they joined the business a year ago, and then they come back. I've had people that I've sponsored into Jeunesse because they just came back from my previous business. They called me and they're like, I want to get back in. I'm like, well, I'm here now. Right? Well, thank you for taking my call. You know, never give up on anybody. But that last one, Rosette. Oh no, she said, don't get tired of the basics. And she also, this last one, don't use distance as your excuse.
Right.
Don't use your distance as your excuse. Because some of you guys would like to do that and say, my sponsor is in Texas, but I live in New Mexico, or I live in Nigeria, or I live in Germany, or I live in the United Kingdom, or I live in the Philippines, or I live in Japan, or I live in Boston, or I live in wherever it is that you live, and you're using your distance as an excuse. That's lame. Rosette, you are my freaking hero, because she said, I create the events here. to give the group here a sense of belonging.
Mm-hmm.
You guys understand that? That's why the business is exploding in McAllen, because I enrolled Marcia and Onua, and they were not like, oh, you got to come down here and do it for us. They created the events to give the group a sense of belonging. And now they're about to do a big event, and honestly, I got to tell you, I'm 50-50 torn about whether or not I should go. I was having this conversation with Lucy West. They have so many jades and pearls, and they have this rock and sapphire down there that I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel like I need to stay out of their way at this point. Yeah, if you guys know what I'm trying to say? It's like, it's tough. It's like, I want to be there. It's like, I want to be there, and I can be there, but it's like, this is y'all. This is your show. They didn't use, they don't use it.
Come on.
They didn't use their distance. I'm going to mute Doris. They didn't use it as an excuse.
Nick. Uh-huh.
You just like hugging me. That's all it is, right? But I mean, that's what I love about Rosette. I mean, she's just, man. So folks, whatever your little excuse is, like, kill it. That's why these guys are on top. Thank you, Rosette. You go, girl. All right. Well, we saved our superstar Sapphire Superwoman for last.
Yeah, that's my sponsor.
Come on, Marcia, what you got for us?
All right, so I quite agree with everything that has been said, and you know, I'm not going to reiterate what everybody else has said, but you know, I'm just going to really talk about my own journey. So everybody's heard my story multiple times, but I truly believe in the power of positive speaking. And so, you know, I was telling our group on Thursday night at our business presentation that we had, our weekly meeting, that I've spoken 3 things so far that are happening since I've started my Jeunesse journey. And the first one was that we were going to walk across the stage. You know, after we went to Las Vegas, we were going to walk across the stage. And that happened for us in June when I got the Sapphire pin. When Terrence came down here for our first meeting, I said we are going to have a packed meeting, and we had a packed meeting at that event when he came down. And then I remember speaking to a few select people, and I said to them, you know, corporate is going to come here. I can't wait for corporate to come. And when they're going to come, we're going to have a huge meeting. And, you know, it is interesting how this last thing has come about, because Terrence and I weren't even talking about corporate coming here. This has been nothing on our conversation. And it popped up, and, you know, I gladly accepted it, right? But on top of that, when I was speaking it, I knew in my mind that this event was going to be at the convention center. And, you know, the convention center is probably one of the most expensive places you could ever think of having an event, especially in our area. And guess where our corporate meeting is going to be? At the convention center, and it is the least expensive out of all the places that we looked at to host the meeting. So what this says to me, I'm so excited about it, but it says to me that you have to speak positive about what you want, you know. You also, one of the things that I learned about in 80-20-365, I mean, I've heard it before, is, you know, how to have positive affirmations. And so as a result of that, I've been saying, you know, I attract positive, like-minded people to my business daily. So my husband and I, we've said to each other, you know what, we need a, like Doris said, new blood, or somebody said it already, new blood in our business. And so, you know, I wasn't sure how to go about getting the new blood. You know, you have your list, you go through your list, what do you do, whatever. And so it's been interesting because I've been saying this affirmation every single day, that all kinds of interesting people have been coming into my life and are approaching me about my business, and they don't even know what I do. So, for example, on Friday night I was at a wedding, and I was sitting beside this lady, and she looked me dead in my eye, and she said to me, "How old are you?" And I said, you know, I told her how old I was, and she's like, "You do not have a wrinkle on your face." I said, boom! Okay? Because why? that was the segue for me to be able to talk about my business. I went somewhere else this weekend. And as a result of that, the lady said to me at the wedding, she's like, great, let's have a party. I want to have a party at my house. I'm going to invite my girlfriends over. I wasn't even trying. Okay?
Yes.
And so then also this weekend, somebody else that I just met randomly, we have connections. Again, they made the commitment to come to our October the 11th meeting. And they said to me, I heard about Janessa a few months ago. It wasn't the right time. You know what? I'm ready. So what I'm saying to you is, in this, you've got to work it to win it. You have to stay constant in your business. One thing that I learned, that I know in being a nurse for me didn't happen overnight. I had to go to school. I had to learn the skill, the craft of being a nurse. I had to invest time in my trade, in my skill set to become a nurse. And even though I'm a nurse right now, and I have been for several years, I still invest time in different things that I need to learn about nursing. And the same thing applies to this industry. You have to, as Kimberly said, invest time in yourself. So through $1 Million Morning, and 80/20/365, the time that is created in the morning for me is absolutely invaluable. And I truly believe that is what has changed the dynamics of my mindset. That has changed the dynamics of this game, because I have taken that upon myself to invest in me. Reading books, surrounding myself by positive people. I've been posting on my Facebook page like a positive saying or quote every single day for the last 3.5 weeks. It is amazing the people that have been watching me and following me because of that I was clueless about, right? So all I'm saying is that you have to be consistent. Whether you feel like it, because some days, truthfully, I don't feel like it. I don't necessarily feel like every meeting going on Thursday night and sacrificing my family, but I go anyways because I look at the big picture, and I also see what is happening in our area, and it's very exciting for me. So, my thing to the group is to, reconfirm what everybody else is saying, but truly just staying consistent and really opening up yourself to allow yourself to receive what it is, and I'm going to say what it is that God has for you, because I truly believe this is where I'm supposed to be at this moment in my life, receiving the things that God has put in my life, and it's the most exciting experience that I've ever been on, and I'm overjoyed by it.
Major. Okay, so major. Vicky Kaufman, one of our Pearl executives, just sent me a text talking about how much she believes also in the power of positive thinking and positive speaking, and some of the things that she's reading and listening to that are making a difference in her life. So everybody who's listening and who's taking notes, you got to write this down. This is like major stuff here. So what Marcia said was, she's learned to speak in a positive fashion about what she wants. Now, here's what that implies. It implies that she's learned to not speak and focus on what she doesn't want.
Right.
And that's actually why most people get what they don't want.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants bad things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what people focus on all the time, and that's what they speak about. 99% of people speak about and focus on the things that they don't want instead of the things that they do want. Mm-hmm. And so, Marcia had to train herself in order to do that. Marcia and I, we spoke about this before the episode, and what we realized is that it really is a linear equation, meaning that it's very, very straightforward. Here's what she did. She did two things. Number one, she put in the work on her business. She did the work. She did the recruiting. She sent the videos out. She made the list. She did the J parties. And when you do all those things, it creates business results.
Right.
Okay? In addition to that, she put in the work on herself. Getting up early in the morning, doing the $1 Million Morning routine, personal investment to go to 80/20/365, and then to actually apply it in her life, not just go and go, oh, nice, but to actually do it. So she put in the work on herself, and that yielded personal growth. So putting the work on her business yielded business growth. Putting the work on herself yielded personal growth. Business results plus personal growth equal attractive. And now when she's in a place where she's now attracting people to her business versus having to chase people. People are now seeking her out. People are now commenting, starting a conversation, and volunteering, do a J party at my house with my friends. I'll get them all together. You come to my place.
Right.
You know, there's an adage in the network marketing business that says if you want to attract better people to your business, if you want better people in your business, you first become better. Become the person that you want to be in your business, and that's what is happening in Marsha's business. Okay. Another thing that she said that I really thought was powerful is she said that she does not let her feelings determine what she does. You don't feel like going to the meeting. She goes anyway. Right? She goes anyway. And another thing that she does really well is she passes negatives up instead of down. So when she has her feelings about, you know, when sometimes people don't show up on time for the meeting to help her set up or whatever, she passes that up line to me. Thank you, Marsha. All right? But bottom line is she doesn't let her feelings drive her actions. And that's what a lot of people do. It's why they fail, because they don't feel like it, or they feel afraid, or they feel tired. And people who are successful at anything do what they need to do even when they don't feel like it.
Sure.
Regardless. Yep.
We're just giving it to you straight today on how to be successful. So I hope you're taking great notes, and I hope that you're ready to apply this. Another thing that Marsha and I spoke about is I was giving her an example of someone asked me recently, they said, hey, can you just break down for me, you know, the Team Elite system and everything I need to do in order to be successful. And we have done such a great job of putting together, of doing these episodes every week, that we have literally covered every aspect of the business. We have covered how to recruit, how to never run out of contacts, how to stay motivated, how to do J parties. I mean, episode 25, we dissected the whole system. That was the pyramid episode. And that was probably the most complete episode. It was funny because I talked to these leaders and they were like, what do you do after that one? Right? And so my response to that request was go watch episode 25. Watch it one time, end to end. That's going to take you 2 hours.
Right.
Watch it a second time and take detailed notes. Because I've now reached a point where if you want my time in coaching, you now have to show me that you are willing to put in time to deserve that time.
Right.
Yes.
And if you're not willing to put in 4 hours to watch episode 25 twice, then I can't help you. And Marsha and I were talking about how reasonable that is. Okay? Because this is Texas, and Texas you can have guns, right? So my good buddies, they got their gun licenses yesterday. How long was the course? 5 hours. The state of Texas says if you want to have your gun, you got to do 5 hours. The Department of Motor Vehicles says if you get a speeding ticket and you want to get out of it, you have to take defensive driving, either in person or online. Guess how long it is? 4 hours. No 4 hours, you're going to pay the fine. No 5 hours, no license for your gun. You want to be an anesthetist and put people to sleep and wake them up. Pays very, very well. How many hours do you have to put in before they let you practice on a live person?
Right.
If you want to be a pilot, if you want to, how long? Say it, Rosette.
Yeah, anesthesiologist, you have to be a doctor and at least 10 years.
10 years to be an anesthesiologist, right? If you want to be a pilot, before they let you fly the plane unassisted with passengers, you got to put in lots of hours.
2 years.
Right? How long?
2 years at least.
2 years at least. 2 years to get all them hours. Right? Guess what my son said? He goes to a performing arts high school. To be considered a thespian, an actor in his school, you have to put in 100 hours.
Wow.
And to graduate as an honor thespian, you have to put in 1,000 hours.
Wow.
Or they won't give it to you. What am I trying to say? All I'm trying to say is it's reasonable that in order to be successful, you got to put in the time. Mm-hmm. And we've laid it out for you. Absolutely anybody on this team can have all of the information that they need to succeed if they're willing to put in 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Go watch episode 25, watch it once through, just so you can just listen. Then go back and watch it again and take notes.
Right.
And then any of us will be willing to coach you, but not before. Right. Not before. If we schedule a time and you were supposed to do that and we get on the phone and you didn't, and my first question is, did you do it? And if you didn't do it, or if it becomes clear in the conversation that you didn't do it, at that very moment, that's when our conversation is over.
Nothing left to talk about.
We got nothing to talk about. Right? Yep. So if you want to be successful, if you want to win, guys, you got to be willing to put in the work. You got to be willing to be consistent. You got to be willing to be disciplined. You got to be willing to learn what the work is so that you can do it. And you have to take this thing seriously. Right. It's not a lottery where you put in $100 to $1,100 and it starts to spit out cash. No, that's the price of entry. That's what gets you in the game. But then you still have to go through. You got to do the work and do the things to create the success. These champions, they did such a fantastic job. I want to thank the 5 of you because you really did do the training today, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Do you have any last words and parting shots before we end this episode?
October 11th.
Yes.
October 11th in the Valley. Way to go. That's going to be awesome. What was that, Doris?
I said, you're coming. Anyway, so the last comment that I would like to make is, you know how Rosetta said, never give up on anyone. And one of the things that I believe in my heart have made me relentless and successful in whatever it is that I'm doing is that when somebody tells me no, to begin with, I don't think anyone has ever blatantly told me no. I think maybe they're scared or I don't know, but they just kind of kindly tell me no. I'll tell you what, I always tell them, I know, baby, it's okay, because, you know, I don't hear you telling me no. I know you're saying no, but I don't hear it. You just don't need me bad enough. You're not ready. That's just everyone that I have ever targeted that has said, oh, I really don't want to. When I come back, whether it's 1 time or 30 times, they're going to tell me yes. So I don't hear a no. I just hear I'm not ready. That's it.
Awesome. 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 Selective hearing. I love it. Anybody else, real quick?
The one thing I'm going to say is, in terms of you got to work it to win it, is I posted on my Facebook, my personal page, clear your mind of can't. Just clear your mind of the can'ts and think about can. And when I put that on my page this week, somebody popped up right away and said, I've been thinking about getting up early and doing my workout or whatever it is. He's like, now you've given me a reason why. It's done. I'm starting today. So just clear your mind of the can'ts and move forward.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Anybody else?
Just one final word, T.Gray. And this is a question you had asked. Well, you had asked the group that you mentioned before, and the question really is, how big does the problem have to be to get you out of the game? You have an amazing opportunity with Jeanette.
We lost Kim.
In Jamaica, we have challenges, we have issues. With any other business, we will have challenges, but how big does the problem have to be to get you out of the game?
Sure, that's good.
It's good stuff. I love it. Good, good, good. Anybody else?
I just want to say that I really think this was an amazing episode. It was, some real talk. I think it's what a lot of people need to hear, so that they know that, hey, even the people that are advancing in rank or whatever, we're all going through the same stuff. And you know what? We're all real people, and just know that we have an amazing company, and very importantly, we have amazing leadership, and we can all do it. So I will be seeing everybody at the top.
Way to go, Jamie. We all go through the same stuff. All right, Rosette, what do you got for us?
We are all in it to win it. My question is, what are you waiting for? Everything is laid out for all of us. So all you gotta do is take action. So it's now to put all of what you've learned to work. Let's do it.
You know what, Rosette? I think those are the words to end the episode on. It's all laid out for you. All you have to do is take action. What are you waiting for? You just have to put all of this great stuff to work and be willing to do it consistently over the next 3 to 5 years to get everything you want. God bless you guys. This has been episode number 27. And let's do as we do every single week. We make it a monster week putting this to practice. Go ahead and register right now for the Gymnastics Convention of the Americas in Orlando, November 12th through 15th, and for the birthday party of the century. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.